What's going on, everybody? All right, we delivered the Viscount's son safely, more or less. A lot of people died in the process. I think we got rid of an entire criminal organization in the process, though. Some more people who are probably going to take roots here in Kirkwall. I mean, this is fertile ground for crime to take root and rise up and flourish. And now there's just there's several things we can do. A couple things outside the city, and then some loose ends to tie up. Also got to think about that the night lies, putting an end to the whole guard pretender thing that's going on in Hightown at night. And that's in my opinion one of the absolute hardest challenges in the game. Maybe because it comes early before I have a lot of skills unlocked or whatever the reason, but it's just the number of enemies in a closed-in space. It's yeah. I never look forward to that one. But it's good XP to get it done. Oh yeah, okay. All right, we need to report into, what was his name? Javara? Anyway, that little dwarf that had us go kill the Talvishoth and all that. And we also got to go talk to Fenrir's mother too, so. Actually, I want Fenris with me. Look at this fine band of upstanding, law-abiding citizens here. I mean, we got the guard captain with us, so what could we be doing wrong, right? But you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and, well, it's good to level up Bethany anyway. But let me get Fenris back in the party real quick. And we'll take him with us. He's a must-have when you talk to the Arishok. It's, well, at least this first time here. There's a, well, there was on the Xbox. I don't remember there being one for PlayStation. I don't remember if there was or not. But on the Xbox, there was an achievement for earning the Arishok's respect. And a big part of that is right here, if you take Fenris with you this first time you meet him.
Why did you shout?
Let me pass. I have business with the dwarf Javaris and your Arishok.
The short mouth, yes. Enter if you must, Basra.
Short mouth. Speaking of achievements, I remember there being one for finding, what is it, the letters of the three, or the messages of the three, or something like that. And I think they're called, like, the Enigma of Kirkwalls, right? But you have to find, like, 3 in each act. I think there's 4 possible in each act, and you have to find at least 3. And one of them is here in, I think, Act 2. Pretty sure it's, like, sitting off to the side over here somewhere or something, but, yeah. Anyway.
Ah, my right hand arrives. Summon your Arishok. The bargain is done. About time you showed. I've been here for hours.
That's a regal dude right there, man. He's not playing. Some serious horns.
Arishokost, Maras Shokra, Anan Isamkun.
The Qun from an elf? The madness of this place.
Friend of yours?
Friend of no one.
Yes, well, that said, I'm here to report that your hated Talvishoth were felled, one and all, right? Yes, they were. So, I'm ready to open negotiations for the explosive powder, as we agreed.
No.
He's not getting it. Make your chatty elf say something.
Any insight that would help?
Qunari do not abandon a debt. I humbly request clarification from the Arishok.
I have a growing lack of disgust for you. The dwarf imagined the deal for the Gatlock. He invented a task to prove his worth when he has none.
Then we have wrongly inserted ourselves in your affairs. Would you have us kill this dwarf?
Wait, what now?
If you face Talvishoth, he is not worthy of dying to you, as he was not worthy of dying to them. But you keep good company. Let him live, and leave.
He had big plans for your recipe. I was supposed to get a piece of that.
Dwarf, did your imaginary bargain make promises on my behalf?
I expected your wisdom to be more profitable.
Uh-oh.
Then you will pay on my behalf.
Sod it all, take your coin, take whatever. Hornhead oxmen and mongrel donglords, suck your own powder and blow your head off. Sod it.
You will leave as well, human. There's no more coin for you here.
With a growing lack of disgust. That's like my favorite line. I'm going to use that. That is awesome.
True purpose, or even character. Why do you bother me, human? The dwarf paid you. There is no more. Your kind thinks selfishness and want are normal. This city, all of it, leaves a bad taste.
If you despise this place, why haven't you left?
Since we arrived, I have seen nothing but greed and weakness. Dwarves, humans, elves, just festering. No order, no goal. You are one of the few I have met with any ability. And yet this too was random, a result of selfishness. I cannot fathom how a mire like this can be justified. You say we should leave, but how can you bear to stay in this chaos?
I agree. It's a mess.
But you don't see that as a problem?
I see it as an opportunity, and I intend to take full advantage.
Karisten are soldiers. The Qun made it so. They can never vary from that assigned path, never be other than they are meant to be. But they are free to choose within that role, to accept and succeed, or deny and die. Glory is clear and defined. It is an undeniable certainty. What full advantage can you take without that authority?
He's free to choose to obey. That isn't contradictory to you.
He chooses to be, as do we all, long before any of your meaningless freedoms are presented. I am not the one to educate you. I did not intend to land here. But this city may demand certainty.
Uh-oh.
I suspect we are done, human.
It's already getting tense.
I don't think Kirkwall would do well under military rule.
The rule of the Qun is not military. It is discipline and order.
How is that different?
To your limited understanding, it is not. You fear soldiers that arrive to remove your pitiable vices. But they do not control Qunari. The triumvirate divides and governs. One is nothing without the others.
You're a long way from home. Why did you come?
To meet a demand of the Qun.
Which was?
It is a matter only the Qunari understand. We remain until we fulfill the demand of the Qun. Or until the demand changes.
How many Qunari have you lost to the Tal-Vashoth?
None.
Optimistic, considering my death toll.
We lose nothing when weakness abandons the Qun. It is the Tal-Vashoth who have lost themselves.
You guard your powder carefully.
It is a tool that can only be allowed to exist under the ordered authority of the Qun.
It could benefit many people.
It does now. Just as swords benefit warriors, but are not given to children. Well, your children.
Farewell.
Panahedan, human.
Yeah, that's major points towards gaining his respect, bringing Fenris along there. I tell you, that line is just awesome, though. I have a growing lack of disgust for you. Alright, this is conveniently right here. Brought fenders for that, but some things I want to do. Go ahead and have these two along. Meryl, not quite ready. I don't know. Meryl's an absolute beast later. And now she's alright. It's just it's the healing issue is
I think the Qunari are spying on us.
she's essentially stuck with a health potion, and that's about her one recourse, and as long as that's on cooldown, there's not a lot she can do unless she deactivates the one thing that gives her that huge mana pool, which is Blood of the First. As long as that's active, she can't heal in this, in the standard way. So I don't know, getting her to where she can manage all those things, as long as Blood of the First isn't active, Anders can heal her, but then she has to rely on her mana pool, which is very limited, especially the way I've built her. It's very limited, but her health pool is just as long as she's alive, she can sling spells type of thing, and that's cool. But pretty soon, honestly, a lot of it is more leans towards Aveline than Meryl. Aveline's ability to draw the hate and keep it off of Meryl is kind of more the key than Meryl just staying alive. She doesn't have to really worry about it as long as she's not getting hit a lot. And she's kind of tanky. I mean, Meryl actually, she can stand on her own for a minute, but she can only take so much abuse. And the kind of damage she can put out, she draws a lot of hate. The harder you hit, the more attention you draw to yourself. And so having Aveline there to draw the hate away from her is key. And Aveline, she's going to be able to draw more aggro as we go along. There's a few key skills and stuff that we can throw some points into that'll help with that.
I hear you're in need of a bit of help.
Ah, so you're the reinforcements the magistrate promised. The man you're looking for, he's holed up in the ruins. Though I doubt he's still in one piece.
That bastard's to be brought in alive after all he's done? Just because it isn't you and your pretty little Shemlin children he's after.
Look at these guards. I doubt either of them has to worry about having pretty children.
That's not what I meant. The man you're after, he targets elves. He dragged my daughter into those ruins and killed her. I want him dead.
I don't blame you.
My girl, Leah, she wasn't his first victim. Over the years, he's taken dozens of our children, and not once has he paid for his crimes.
Would you mind telling me who you are?
My name is Elvin. I'm a merchant in the city. Please, no one else cares that our children are being slaughtered like beasts.
There must be some humans who would take offense to these disappearances.
We're nothing to them. Even if this murderer does finally go before the courts, the magistrate won't take our word over his.
Why only elves? Why not human children as well?
We're easy prey. No one thinks twice when an elven child disappears.
I'll tear his throat out myself.
Thank you, Sarah. You have no idea what this means.
You couldn't turn to the guards.
For all my damn coin, I'm still only an elf to these Shemlin. There'll be no justice for my girl in the courts of Kirkwall.
That's probably true.
What do you say about all this?
Yes. What do you have to say?
They won't go in after him. They're stalling, trying to give the murdering bastard a chance to get away.
Oi now, elf. Like we said before, you're bleeding mad if you think we'll be going against the magistrate's orders.
Can't do that.
This murderer cannot be allowed to walk free.
Then that bastard will finally get what he deserves. Thank you.
Not wise, stranger. You try to take justice into your own hands, the magistrate will have your head.
Only if it's reported.
Well, we'll be quiet then.
You can't do the right thing against the magistrate's orders. Man-written law always keeping you from doing the right thing. Laws are written backwards to promote crime. This is a little bit about me here. This is an absolute cut and dry issue, as far as I'm concerned. Child molesters, rapists. Probably heard me say this before, and I'll probably say it many times again. Child molesters, murderers, rapists, kidnappers, traitors, die. That's the only solution for that. No doctors, no fixing that, no giving them a chance, no listening to their pretty words and speeches about how everything's better now and they'll never do that again to another little baby boy or girl and blah, 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 and this and that, and oh, they just misunderstood their patriotism for their country and they didn't mean to do it, and oh, they were misled, and okay, whatever. Bottom line is, if you lay in wait in malice and murder an innocent, right? That's murder. I'm not talking about killing. I'm not talking about acts of war. I'm not talking about acts of justice. I'm not talking about acts of self-defense. I'm talking about maliciously killing an innocent, right? Premeditated, malicious killing of an innocent. Or if you tamper with a child, period. Tamper with a man or woman, you know, just rape, period. Or traitor, then you die. Holler at you. That is the solution. The reason it's been mislabeled and society's been brainwashed into thinking that it's somehow not civilized or barbaric to get rid of the trash like that and get that filth out of your society is because there's money to be made off keeping them alive because you can lock them up forever at the taxpayer's expense. It costs me $5 a day to keep this guy in prison. I charge you $200 a day. I keep the other $195. And that's day after day after day after thousands and thousands and thousands of inmates. That's a lot of money, all right? And that's their cash cow, and they're not going to let you threaten their cash cow. So they're going to make you feel guilty for wanting to do what you should, by nature, want to do to some of that filth, all right? Now, no, that doesn't apply to somebody who stole your wallet. That doesn't apply to even somebody who stole your car, something like that. Those things can be returned. But you can't undestroy a child. You can't unrape a woman. You can't unmurder somebody, all right? You can't bring the lives back of those spies and soldiers and anyone else that died as a result of your treachery. You can't undo that, all right? You can return back something you took. You can apologize and make up for, you know, lies that you told and things like that. You know, if you break someone's stuff, you can replace it. But you can't replace a person, so. But, also, there's the social misconception that somehow, if a murderer or a rapist is not in the act of doing it, then they're not guilty of murder or rape. No, a murderer or rapist is a murderer or rapist, whether they're doing it or not. Okay? You don't have to be in the process of committing a murder to be a murderer. Right? Once that's, I mean, you know, you can't just run around wondering if people are going to be a murderer and then just start killing them ahead of time. That's ridiculous. But what I am talking about is when these acts are uncovered, you take out the trash right there, and then the next guy who wants to do that either goes somewhere else to do it, or he knows that there's consequences. But here, now in modern society, somehow it's so twisted that we call right wrong and wrong right, light dark, dark light. We turn everything upside down. And we say that somehow it's uncivilized to do the civilized thing, but yet we call it civilized to reward these perverts with a free vacation at the taxpayer's expense, right? With 3 hots and a cot, and they don't even have to work while they can sit there and dream and fantasize about the next thing they're going to do to the next little baby boy or girl or man or woman or unsuspecting victim, or how they're going to kill the next guy, or maybe a group of people this time, and they get to sit there and fantasize and fondle themselves while they think about it at night at our expense. And the whole time, the victims have to spend their tax dollars to support that piece of shit while he gets to stay alive. There's no right there in any way, shape, or form. Okay, but it's brainwashing that has got this, I guess, civilization thinking that way. It's, you know, this is when I'm adamant about it. I really personally can't be argued with at this point. I respect anyone else's, you know, opinions on whatever, but it's common sense to me. It's not even, you know, it's not even an issue of debate. It's just a, you know, it's a fact. You know, hit a light switch, the lights come on. It's just that simple, you know. You do that and things go right. You don't do that and things are the way they are now, where you can't even walk outside at nighttime. You can't even walk down the street. You can't trust your children at the park. You can't even hardly trust your children at school. And if they're not getting raped or molested, they're shooting each other. Because somehow murder's okay too, because you know that, you know, worse comes to worse, you get locked up for a while and then you get vacation. Prison's not a vacation. Well, it's vacation when compared to what should happen to these people that we lock away. And pay untold sums of money to support with tax dollars. Okay, now this guy is the key here. The arcane, he doesn't have a... Well, on Nightmare, I take that back. He really does have some health on Nightmare. But, he can do a lot of AoE damage really, really fast. That's a big area he can cover. He can wipe the party by himself, essentially. Really, really short period of time. They have a decent health pool, they just don't have a lot of armor, so... You know, get him down first, and the rest of this is at least manageable. But trying to fend all these guys off while he's doing these huge AoE spirit things and stuff like that, these fights can be over, like, real fast. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what was picking on my mate. Probably this guy right here. Yep. He's spit poison. Okay, well. This guy just doesn't want to die, does he? See, there's a good example. Okay, Anders goes down, and there was nothing Aveline could do to draw the heat off of them. There will be a point where she'll be able to try to get her to where she can, you know, just keep taunt up, and she'll draw more aggro just by being there. I don't remember if it's a passive or it's a sustained ability and an upgrade to that, but she essentially becomes a lot more threatening. All right, and you know it also help to have Varric around. That's one thing about playing warriors. When you have Varric in the party, he can pop hate from off of the mages and put them back on Aveline, or even yourself. You know, if you're playing a warrior, if you think you can hang and do enough damage to deal with those enemies as they attack, then yeah.
Please, can you get me out of here? I just want to go home.
Leah? Your father told us you were dead.
My father? Is he safe? Kelder said that he'd hurt my family if I didn't come with him.
Who is Kelder?
The man who took me.
I don't see any injuries. Are you all right?
He hit me, told me I was nothing. I begged him to stop hurting me. I didn't think he would, but out of nowhere, he pushed me away and just started crying. Don't you see? He didn't mean to hurt me. He told me. There are demons. They make him do these horrible things.
I'll have to remember to use that. A demon made me do it.
But it's true. How else could he do something like this?
He's just a piece of
Please.
shit. That's how. Sometimes it's just the way it is.
He's a dead man.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it's not his fault. It's not.
Run to the entrance. You'll find your father there.
I get it. Psychological trauma, kind of along the lines of Stockholm Syndrome, sort of, in that it's much easier to, I guess, come to grips with the abuse from this guy if he's really not to blame, because, you know, she's too small to defend herself against this grown man who's raping her and hitting her and doing whatever he's doing. So, say that he's not at fault and that you're both just victims, and then your captor essentially becomes your friend, or at least something along those lines. It's all very twisted, but like I say, she can't defend herself. What's she gonna do? And it's probably just a little easier than just accepting the reality that's just what this piece of shit is. It is what it is. But well, anyway, we're about to do the right thing. We're about to make the world a better place. And listen to this slug. Listen to this slime shit. Listen to what it says, too.
I knew my father would eventually send someone. I was hoping the beasts down here would get to me first.
Why'd you make it easy and kill yourself, coward?
You wanted those creatures to kill you. Why?
It's what I deserve. I should be torn apart, forgotten down here, not protected by my father.
He's a liar. He's a mage. I think he raised those corpses.
From the magistrate's vague description, I expected a hardened criminal, not a whining coward.
He didn't tell you, did he? The magistrate is my father. He's tried so hard to keep me, and what I've done, hidden away.
I'm disgusted by the both of them.
Right?
The magistrate's more worried about keeping his job than doing his job.
Father is a good man. He tried to help, to stop me. But he can't. No one can.
That's the truth. You are broken, dude.
That elf girl. She had no right to be so beautiful. So perfect.
Now I need to take a shower.
The demons said she needed to be taught a lesson, like all the others. The Circle was supposed to help me, but they lied. They said there were no demons, that I was mad. This isn't my fault.
You're not mad, you're just a piece of shit.
Leah said you told her to run. Why?
I was crying, and she asked me if I was all right. After everything the demons made me do to her. She was concerned about me. How could I let them destroy something so good? So pure?
Let me get this straight. You torture and murder elven children for being too beautiful.
I didn't want to hurt them. They forced me. The demons don't like it when they cry.
Okay, you need to die
If the
right now.
Circle suspected a demon at work, they wouldn't risk setting you loose in the city.
No. They lied.
Real mages suffer enough without charlatans like you making it worse.
I can't stop. I've tried so many times. Please, you have to kill me. There's no other way.
No, I fully agree.
Just tell my father I'm sorry. For everything.
I'm not telling him shit for you.
Must you be so dramatic?
Some people are simply broken.
Well said. Some people, they're not crazy. They're not misunderstood. They're just bad people. Anyone who doesn't understand that has had soldiers on the front lines protecting them in the comfiness of their own homes for way too long. There are bad people. Just bad.
You saved her. My little girl. I didn't dare hope. Did you find that monster? Is he dead?
We could bring him back as the undead and then kill him again.
No, that's all right. I'd rather he stay dead. I didn't believe an elf could ever get justice in Kirkwall. I speak for all of us when I say that we are in your debt, Sirrah.
I feel just as bad for those knife ears as the next man. But ignoring the magistrate's direct orders, that's madness.
Political coward. Alright, well, that's me. Mr. Political Incorrectness. Or Mr. Honesty. Whichever you prefer. Politically incorrect and honest are the same thing. Politically correct and completely full of shit are absolutely the same thing.
I know it didn't work the way you wanted, but...
Alright, so I think one of those big old spiders dropped this last little bit for this guy.
I don't know if that's enough to forgive me.
Must have been
I
hard.
think we get paid for this too, don't we?
Being trapped
Yes,
outside the
nice.
in a place where no one's like him.
Gold's starting to add up right here at the end too. And a lot of the stuff I know I'm not going to be using, might as well just go ahead and get rid of it now. No point in hanging on to it. Right, those are outdated, so those can go. don't know what's wrong with me. Sometimes I'll just look at something and I'll be like, you know, I might use that. Knowing damn well I'm not going to, but I might, so I hang on to it. And it takes up a spot in my inventory, and then I sell it later anyway. Few levels on down the road when I realize even the garbage stuff, random stuff you pick up is better than this item I've been hanging on to, then I sell it. But until then, you know, I might wear it. And that's enough to hang on to it, I guess. I don't know.
Welcome back to Salt, my friend.
Alright, you know what? Nothing else to deal with him, right? Just to make sure. Don't really need that. He's gonna have that. I mean, I don't have to buy that now. I might make some of those someday. I don't know. Who knows? Make sure there's no companion armor pieces or anything like that. In fact, probably make a complete round of all the merchants right before heading to the deep roads, just to make sure that there's not some little thing that I overlooked. Especially down there in Lowtown. Lowtown, I need to go back through all the merchants there, just in case. I think I've stopped at them all once, and it may be possible that something might pop up in a merchant's inventory after you do, like, say, a personal companion quest for somebody or something. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know, but like I say, right before I go, it's worth looking, because if I miss a piece of companion gear, then I believe it's lost. If you don't catch something in a particular act or chapter of the game, then I think you lose it for good. Pretty sure.
Your son decided he'd rather be an elf than a Templar prisoner. He joined the Dalish.
What? But he is human. They did not even wish me to raise him among them. But they do value magic more than the men of Kirkwall. Perhaps he can have both safety and freedom. As I said, I have little money. But this is a Dalish ring that has been in my family for generations. Please accept it with my thanks.
I'm having a problem accepting these things from people who don't have anything.
Thank you for asking.
If you're filthy rich and you want things done, cool, but the extremely poor, then keep it or go sell it. I like the ones sometimes where there's a, don't worry about it, go ahead and keep it. Was happy to do it option sometimes. Certain people that really applies to. Her, I wouldn't accept anything for that.
A message for you. It's on the desk.
Act of mercy. Act of mercy. Well, it's good to come back here and check in every once in a while.
I thought there might be something dangerous in there.
Whatever, just eavesdropping on my stuff. Nosing around in my personal letters.
Carver never told you, but he was a bit jealous Amabari chose you and not him. Poor Carver. There's a good boy.
I love the dog. Probably actually level Meryl up. Yeah, she's got a level coming, doesn't she? We'll sink more into Constitution, but I think we'll run with that. Yeah, Constitution, well, that's just awesome. It's her health and mana. Alright, now there we go. Okay, now that sets a target up as being brittle. And now Assassinate has a cross-class combo with Brittle. I think there's something Aveline can eventually do also that crosses with that. Maybe Cleave? Or I don't remember.
Is that a serious question?
Did he have a little sword or just his claws? I bet he had a dashing cap with a feather in it.
Would you stop making fun of my cat?
Oh, no hat then.
Anyway, I think we've been doing all right up to this point, but you know, I could have made a beeline for that upgrade to that spell right there, and had Meryl setting up for combos, you know, earlier. Could have done that. We'll get to where we need to get eventually, anyway. But I wouldn't say this has been the ideal leveling so far. There's a few cross-class combos that we probably could have been setting up a little bit before this, but that's fine. Like I said, we've been getting by. We're doing all right. Can't complain. All right, thanks for watching, and we will get back to more of this stuff in the next one. If you want to subscribe, click that top button, and for more Dragon Age 2, click that thing in the middle. All right, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.